If it's not user friendly, I don't want it. Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Conversations with Candace. I'm Candace, and we're going to be conversing today. We're going to talk about briefly um, the Apple Watch that I purchased, which was the Series 3, and why I chose it over the Series 5, and I kind of want to give you a rundown of the differences between the two and why I felt like it was more beneficial for me just to get the Series 3, even though it was older. So let's get started. So, just to summarize the Apple Watch that I have and that I'm wearing right now, I have the Apple Watch Series 3. It was $199. I purchased it at Target on their app, and then I drove up and they brought it to my car. Um, it was $199 when I bought it, and then I just checked their website, and now it's $179. This is the 38 millimeter one. There's also a 42 millimeter one. And I have a bigger wrist, so I really thought maybe I would need the 42. But when I looked at them, I mean, it's millimeters, so it's not that big of a difference. The 38 does just fine on my arm, and as you can see, I do have a bigger wrist. So my watch has GPS, but not cellular. I did not want to pay for an extra phone number to be able to make calls from my watch. Now, what I can do with the watch is make phone calls. Well, I can tell my phone to make calls, and I can answer calls from my watch on my phone, and I can play music from my watch on my phone. But the watch itself does not do that by itself because it doesn't have another cell phone number. That was more than I wanted to pay, and I simply wanted something comparable to the Fitbit that I had before. I needed it to track my activity, show me the time. What I really like about this one is that it also shows the weather on the screen. It also shows the calendar. It has a stop and breathe option, just like my Fitbit. And then it gives you your heart rate and things of that nature as well. The things that I considered before purchasing: how will it compare to my Fitbit charge that I love and can use all the time and I can sleep in and the battery never dies? Is it in my budget? This watch was $199. The 5 was like twice as much. And you know, with Apple, they'll give you a newer device and charge way more for it, but then there's not a whole lot of differences between the two. And I didn't want to get caught up with something twice as much that maybe might not have been as good. I also went with a new versus a refurb because I wanted to be able to trade it in if I do want to upgrade later. And I also wanted some sort of like insurance plan or like warranty. And I ended up not buying the one from Apple, but I did get the one from Target. Target offers a $59 protection plan, and I got that one, and they will fix it if it breaks or give me a new one. So that was really helpful for me. So for the 3, this case is aluminum, and the 3 only comes in that type of case. For me, that's fine because that's what is most durable. I work with kids, I'm moving around a lot, I bump into stuff a lot, and so that's the most durable. Now, if you want to get more fancy, the 5 offers aluminum, titanium, ceramic, and stainless steel. So they do have more casings for the watch if that's something that you really, really need. Also, their watch faces are bigger. The smaller one is 40 millimeters and the bigger one is 44 millimeters. So there is a little bit of a noticeable difference between my size 38 and then the large 5, which is 44. But also, I didn't really need that much bigger, so I did not factor that in when I bought this. One of the features of the 3 that I really like is that it is water resistant. Now, they say you can go swimming in it. I'm not going to swim in it because I just don't want to take a $200 device into the water. I did accidentally swim in my Fitbit a few times and it wasn't waterproof and it was completely fine. But this also has a feature that if you tap a certain app on here, it will like push out any water that has gotten into the watch. So it is water resistant. I did accidentally get in the shower with it one time, and that was completely fine as well. As for the 3 and the 5, both of them connect to all my Apple devices. My Fitbit came with one app. It's just a Fitbit app. Everything can be done in that one app. But for my Apple Watch, I have two apps. One is the Watch app that takes care of the watch itself and the things that it'll show you on the screen and how it works. And then there's the Activity app that is separate, but it's tracked by the watch. So having two apps was kind of irritating at first, but it's now that I'm used to it, it's not that big of a deal. Probably the most clutch feature of the Apple Watch is that you can ping your phone. I put my phone down lots of places and then I'll walk off from it. And before, I would have to get my MacBook and find my iPhone and make it make the sound. But I didn't always have my MacBook with me. But I'm gonna always have my watch with me, and so I can just ping. I can tap the app and ask it to find my phone. It'll ping my phone and it'll make a dinging sound until I find my phone. Like, that is so clutch. I wish you would do it for my keys too, because I always lose those. So on my watch face, I have the calendar, the time, the weather, as well as my heart rate, and then a little breathe function that you can stop and take a break and breathe. But there are different watch faces that you can have on this watch. Um, it is even more versatile than my Fitbit, but also more compatible with my devices than my Fitbit was. One of the cons for this watch is the battery life. I'm used to being able to wear my Fitbit to bed and being able to wear it for 4 or 5 days without needing to charge it. When I got this, it was not charged all the way, but I did charge it before I wore it. And it has an 18-hour battery life, which is not even a full day. So I have to take it off at night and make sure I charge it. I cannot wear it to bed. I have not found that this monitors my sleep like my Fitbit, so I guess that's not really a factor, and I can take it off at night and it's completely fine. But I really wish that my battery would last longer. There's an always on feature for the Series 5, and I would imagine that runs down the battery even faster. If your screen is always on, your battery is working that much harder to keep it on. So there's no always on feature on the Series 3, which I guess is a good thing. I don't want to have to charge my watch every 6 hours. One thing I did do to help my battery last longer was turn off all the default notifications that the watch comes with. Like, everything that happens on your cell phone, it would tell me about it on the watch. And I don't need all that. If my phone is face down because I don't want to see it, I don't need my watch pinging me every single time something happens on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or the stock market or whatever. So I definitely had to go into the app for this phone and turn off notifications that I really did not need. One of the perks of the Series 5 that I really think is kind of handy is that it has a decibel meter. If you're in an environment where there's something like music playing or people are talking loud, it will measure how loud it is in the room and tell you, hey, maybe you should step outside because this is going to hurt your ears in the long run. Another great thing about the Series 5 is that it connects to everything faster. Internet faster, your phone faster, your computer faster, everything faster. It's a newer device. The apps will update faster and better. All the apps will work better with it because it is newer, but it is not so different from the Series 3 that made me really want to get the 5. As I mentioned before, the Series 5 has a 40mm screen and a 44mm screen. So if it really matters to you that it is that much bigger than the 3, go ahead and get the 5. I feel like for my money, the $199 plus the $59 that I spent on the protection package, I feel like I got a really good deal. I feel like I knew what I wanted when I went in. I did the research, and the less expensive 3 had all the bells and whistles that I needed for the money. I feel like the perks that you get from the 5 don't warrant a $400 price tag. For me, but I'm not a techie kind of girl. I don't feel like spending $200 more for the five really helps me all that much. So that's the reason why I got the three. I've had it now for about 2 weeks and I really, really like it. I did ask some friends about which ones they have and if they like it and things of that nature, but I also just wanted to do research on my own. So I hope this was helpful for you. Let me know if you have an Apple Watch, the three or the five, or I think they had a four. And until next time, y'all have a good day.